So it's all for play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. The January transfer window is in full swing, and with that, we have another link. Aston Villa are linked with Oscar Mingueza of Celta Vigo, right back slash. I suppose really you call him a Swiss Army knife. Can play right back. Has played centre back. I'm going to preface this with saying plays right back, has played centre back, has played left back, has played central midfield, has played right midfield. So he has played in a lot of positions. But we're going to take a look at him today. Obviously, somebody that would have a lot of tactical versatility, even if you just take a cursory look at him. If you take a look at any of his match logs on FBref, and you'll be able to see how many minutes he's played in certain positions. I'm not going to focus on the different positions for the moment. I'm going to focus solely on this right back position because it seems to be the position that Unai Emery would want him to come in to play. He's an interesting character, interesting profile, an interesting type of player. I spent some time watching him about 18 months ago. I did a transfer series on right backs. You might remember that. I went into players like Yuki Sugawara and a couple of other players who I would have signed or I would have looked at to sign for Aston Villa. None of them were linked at the time. This guy was on the list. I did a piece on this guy. I didn't put him on in that scouting series. So the temptation was last night to jump on directly after the Wesley Franco piece and to do a show on him. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, I'll be going on information from 18 months ago, and I want to see some new information. I want to see some new I want to watch him. I want to watch what he is now as to where he was 18 months ago. Because, and the reason for that is, this guy came out of Mingueza. He came out of Barcelona. He was played out with centre half, probably was thrown in there a small bit too quickly, and it was sink or swim for him at Barcelona in there. They played him at centre half mostly, bit at right back. Didn't really swim and was sold to Celta Vigo. And when I was scouting him, he had just moved to Celta Vigo. He had a small bit of issues of adapting quickly into their new system. So I watched some of his games, and a lot of those games were right back. And I was impressed. I was impressed with some of the stuff that I saw from him. I wasn't impressed with other things that I saw from him. I felt he was an incomplete player 18 months ago. So I wanted to watch him again, give him a fair crack at the whip, because it wouldn't be fair for me to come on and give you information from memory from stuff I watched 18 months ago, looking at my notes from some time ago. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cursory stat sheet that I always do, and we're also going to take another look at some video footage that I'm going to use in fair use. I'm going to stop it and I'm going to talk you through why I've picked out some of this video footage, because I feel this guy has some really, really good aspects to his game. You're going to see he's got some really good aspects to his game, and he's got some aspects of the game that have a lot of cause for concern. And I think that's okay to talk about as well. So let's bring him up here. Oscar Mingueza. Whoops. Here we go. So there he is, a beautiful looking man. 6 foot and 1/2 of an inch, right footed, and he's 25 years of age. Will turn 26 in May as well. I've put him in here as a fullback / centre back, but realistically speaking, I could have just put in right back there for him, because that's where I think that's the position he's nailed down. I think everybody knows that. But when you look at his heat map here, you can see that he's played on the left hand side quite a bit for Celta Vigo last year as well, or this year, should I say? And he's played predominantly on the right side. Now, looking at his statistics here, and we don't just go on statistics. If we did, I could have come on straight away afterwards, or at 8:30 last night, and started talking about this guy and made my mind up on him based on the stats. But we don't like to do that here. But when you do look at the stats, I have to say that there is one of those things is not like the other. When you look at the three different groupings that I have up here, one of those things is certainly not like the other. And it's something that we need to talk about in a moment when we look at some footage that I've put together of him. As a person on the ball, he's really good. He's really adept. He knows how to play the game of football. He's really technical. You'd expect that anybody coming out of La Mingueza is going to be technically good on the ball. You can see it. He's a workhorse. The amount of touches he gets for Celta Vigo is incredible. 74.88 touches. That's insane stuff. You know, that's almost the amount of touches Boubacar Kamara was getting at Marseille when he was playing in central midfield when we signed him. You know, so this guy is, you can load him up with effort, with time on the ball, and you can see him flourish. You know, he's really good. He is at his best when he has the ball at his feet. And from that point of view, you know, you have to look at him, and he's an intriguing and enticing character. His shot creating actions, his goal creating actions, they're all up there. He's a very progressive right back from the point of view of he makes things happen. He knows how to use the ball at his feet. He's very gifted with the ball at his feet. The numbers show it. It's shown on film as well when you look at it. Now, unfortunately, the other thing that's shown here is the defensive statistics. He hasn't got very much defensive output. He just doesn't. It's not that he's a bad defender. He just doesn't make tackles. He doesn't make blocks. He doesn't intercept the ball. He doesn't tackle people. And that to me is a worry, because you kind of need to do that in the Premier League. And we're going to show you some bits and pieces in a moment of when he's faced in a one-on-one duel. I think is something that Unai Emery needs to take a look at, and we'll need to know how he's going to fix that one in the Premier League. Because I'll show some footage of when he plays Barcelona, plays Villarreal, plays Sevilla, plays Racing Santander. So there are 4 games, and there are 4 really recent games that I've watched. These aren't games from like a year ago when he's struggling with injury or anything like that, and he hasn't been struggling with injury, so that's not a factor in this guy's report, I suppose, really. But these are games that happened over the last month, and that's why I wanted to go and look to see if this side of his game has improved. Because when I saw him at Celta 18 months ago, it was an area that I was a small bit disappointed in. And 18 months later, I still see a small bit of disappointment in his one-on-one duels. But that's not to say he's a bad player. We're highlighting the good. We're highlighting the areas he needs to improve on. We'll get to that in a moment. But let's just look at how he compares with our current crop of right backs, Matty Cash and Ezri Konsa. The reason I don't have Nedeljkovic here is because he's probably played 118 minutes for Aston Villa, and it's unfair to put anybody's statistics in there. This guy really, from a defensive point of view, sets up like a centre-half, which kind of stands to reason considering that's where he made his bread and butter when he was a young player, and he's been moved out to that right-back position. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter say, oh, could he cover for that right centre-back position? You know, could he be maybe somebody who comes in who covers for the centre-half position and the right-back position? It's not out of the realms of possibility. But unless it was in a back three, I wouldn't be clamoring for him at centre half. I wouldn't be, based on what I've seen. He just doesn't have that much of a presence. He's tall. He's 6'1.5", half an inch, but he doesn't take up an awful lot of space. He's spindly. You can even see him there. He cuts a slender figure, which is fine. God, this isn't weightist or anything like that. But he cuts a slender figure. I wouldn't like him in at centre half unless it was in a back three. That's the only way I would see him in there at centre half. So he's going to be predominantly right back. And when we look at what he does from a right back point of view, it's like in an attacking sense and in a progressive sense, it's really good. It is really good. And also, what I need to preface here is Unai Emery is happy with Ezri Konsa at right back. So I've gone on there about talking about his defensive stuff here. I don't want to influence anyone. This is to help everybody make up their own mind on this guy, but this is my thoughts on it. But also, I need to preface this with Unai Emery, we know for a fact, is exceedingly happy with how Ezri Konsa plays at right back, specifically from a defensive point of view. And if you look at this guy's statistics in tackles and in interceptions, you can see the green line here on our map here overlaps absolutely exactly the same as the pink line, which are the numbers for Ezri Konsa. So, while I talk about defensive output, there's enough defensive output there to match the defensive output of somebody like an Ezri Konsa, which we know is what Unai Emery wants. We know that Ezri Konsa at times has pulled into a back three when we've gone forward on the left-hand side, but he struggled when we've looked to go forward on the right-hand side. It's not his game. His game is not busting forward. He's grand at passing the ball, but, you know, his progressive passing is not good. Maybe Unai Emery has seen something here from this guy. And there's no maybe. Unai Emery has definitely seen something from this guy from a point of view of, can I get Ezri Konsa level of defending from this guy, but can I also get an accelerated amount of progression when we have the ball on that, and we want to attack from that right-hand side as well. So just because, and what I wanted to do is, just want to say, just because you see the numbers here are low, does not mean that's a bad thing. It just means that he doesn't make an awful lot of tackles, doesn't make an awful lot of blocks, doesn't make an awful lot of interceptions. But he does it at the same level as Ezri Konsa. And this is over the last 365 days. And that includes Ezri Konsa's time, obviously, as a centre half as well. So if Unai Emery is happy with the level of output that Ezri Konsa has, he's going to get that in Oscar Mingueza. But he's also going to get far elevated levels of attacking play from him when he goes on that right-hand side. So I want to preface everything I say here with regards to that. So this makes a lot of sense that this guy would be linked. So let's take a little look here at, these are just some statistics. This just backs up what I've said there a moment ago. We can see the blue is Oscar Mingueza, the greenish color, the teal color, Matty Cash, and then the red is Ezri Konsa. So we can see Ezri Konsa is a non-entity in the attacking game. Absolutely non-entity when he plays in the attacking game. But he's a massive, as a fullback, we can see here, he's a massive plus point in the defensive game. And this is also when we look at some other statistics when you broaden out the circle here as well. So don't want to confuse with radial maps and everything like that, but if people are interested in this, I'll leave it up on the screen. You guys can see it there. Once again, the blue is Oscar Mingueza, the red is Ezri Konsa, and the green is Matty Cash. Okay, so what I wanted to do next is just move on to his strengths and weaknesses, because I want to kind of get and look at some of the footage I have of him. So his strengths are definitely stamina, his versatility, his technical ability in the ball is brilliant, and his knowledge of the game. He is very adept at understanding patterns in games. Is what you can see that because he can get into very, very good positions. Again, like Wesley Franca that I mentioned previously, his play strength is not good. He's 6 foot, but he's not a strong 6 foot. That's why I'd have concerns at him at playing him at centre half when people talk about his versatility. His weaknesses are he's not really fast. He's fast, but he's not like he's not Ian Matson fast. He's not Wesley Franca fast. He's not Alex Moreno fast. Moreno was fast enough. He's going to get up and down the wing. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's not as if you're going to see him dragging his arse behind him. But it's not he's quick, I suppose, more so than fast, if that makes sense. Tactical discipline. I'm going to show you that in a moment. You know, sometimes, like a lot of fullbacks, can get sucked in up top. And can maybe kind of venture too far forward. And when he doesn't have the pace to recover, you know, it becomes highlighted in certain aspects. His defensive output, as I say, that's a weakness. You know, he's going to need to tackle, block, intercept more, a small bit at the Premier League. Those numbers are going to have to come up. As I say, it's not a weakness for him. It's more of a negative, I suppose. There is his defensive output and one-on-one duels. I'm not quite sure he's very good at them. I've seen him 18 months ago, and it was an area I wanted him to improve on, and I want to show you some more footage of him in those in one-on-one duels in a moment. So I've put his defensive ability here at 38, and the reason I've done that is just because of the output. Okay, guys, it's not my FIFA rating on him or anything like that. It's solely based on his output. His attacking ability is really good, 75. I've rated him as 75. I'm still trying to come up with a proper formula for how I can standardize these ratings that I give players here. System fit, I think he's a 65. I think he's a system fit based on what we're doing at the moment. That probably should be higher. the reason I've put it at 65 is I want to see more. Like, I'd like to see a more complete player in there. But sometimes when you chase a unicorn, it's your own fault. And realistically speaking, I suppose if I was being honest with myself, that should probably be around a 75 as opposed to a 65. But I brought it down to a 65 just based on I'm just not sure about the one-on-one duels, and we do leave our right backs on an island at times. So I just want to, I need to see more on that to see how much more. But he's a better system fit than he would be than I've seen of the other right backs that we've been linked with over the last probably over the last 12 months. As well. Transfer possibility, I've put it in here as a 50. I don't really know. It comes from a reputable enough source in Spain. And he is somebody that's been linked to the Premier League. He's been linked with a ton of teams, though, so we have to take everything like that with a pinch of salt. He does have a release clause of 20 million euros. I think that's all but being confirmed at the moment. I know John Townley said something about it this morning as well. It's all about being confirmed. I don't know whether Villa have 20 million euros to spend on a right back, but look, that's not my job. We're not here to talk about money, and money is never going to come into any of the aspects of my scouting of players at all. So yeah, just bear that one in mind. So I'm going to bring that down off the screen, and what I want to do is I want to bring up this, and just want to say I'm going using some video footage here that I've put together myself, not taking it from anyone else's site, and I'm using this in fair use. So just want to highlight some areas. Number one, in the defending. So there's quite a lot of clips here in defending that I want to highlight, and I'm going to pause these as we go through. So Celta Vigo are playing in the orange here. The ball is cleared out. We're looking to the right back positions here. So we see that Mingueza goes and makes an effort to get to the man here. So we see that he goes, makes an effort to get to the man. Absolutely no defensive strength here at all. Was just blown past, and then gets back, tries to get back into position, can't really do so, and gives away a cross. That could happen in any game to any defender, but watch on. It happens a bit to him, and he reminds me a small bit of, it was something that Alex Moreno used to do as well, almost overrun the player when he engaged him, specifically when they were in the defensive third. So the next one I want you to watch here, Celta Vigo in their more familiar colours of blue here. This is all over on the left-hand side. The ball comes across from the left-hand side onto, he's actually playing on the left here. And yes, this is one I wanted to, I have it in my notes here. This is one I wanted to show you. So he can play on the left-hand side, which goes to show his versatility. He is here on the left-hand side. He's the guy that flails the leg as the cross comes in. And why I wanted to show this is he shows some good positioning by being able to cut the two players in half here. But just from a pace point of view and almost like I'm not going to say an defensive effort point of view, but he just kind of flails the leg at it there. And he didn't make any effort to show the guy down the line. He kind of just stood in between the two players there. And from a one-on-one duel point of view there, we're in a dangerous area. I know there's lots of players back. There's tons of players back, and the box is full. But it's a dangerous area. And for me, the urgency needed to be shown there. He had people around him. He could have engaged the player. And that's my biggest thing with a one-on-one is he doesn't engage the player with confidence. He goes to them. Sometimes he overruns them. Or in instances like that, he maybe shadows maybe a yard or 2 yards too far back from them. So I don't know does he have any confidence that he can't get blown past. Once again, I'm only looking at footage here, so we'll take everything here. Again, sorry, this is the same game. Apologies. Against Sociedad, he played at left back, and he didn't have the best game at left back. The winger didn't have to do a whole pile here to show him down the line. Watch this. There was a mile between the two of them anyway. I understand that. He doesn't show an awful lot of great pace to get back. The winger then just basically drops the shoulder, and that's Geraldo Becker, who isn't exactly a massively brilliant winger either. Just shows him down. Mingueza essentially concedes the cross to him here, and that's just one thing that I don't like, and it causes consternation in the box. Here we see him again, once again at the left back position, playing for Real. Goes out of play, but Geraldo Becker he doesn't even drop the shoulder. He just goes past him, and that's one thing that I want to see more. I want to see more from my fullbacks in that instance here. Here we have him tussling with his man here just down at the bottom of the screen. I hope you guys can see it. He's tussling with him. What's he supposed to do there? Is he supposed to bring the man down? But, it's kind of just in the Premier League, this is going to be like players. Yes, it is the 70-something minute of the game, but it's just something. On one-on-one duels, you see that too often. The player just goes past him. Here we have oh yes, he's back on the right side here in this one. There he is. He comes in, just literally gets in the way of the ball, but immediately goes back out and looks to go into his right back position to get on the front foot. So here we have him. If you can't see him here, there's a triangle of 3 players here. There's one closest to the Sevilla man, and there's one I suppose furthest away near the box, and then Mingueza is the guy here that's kind of closest to the camera, we can see here. So he goes, he engages, doesn't get the ball, then turns around, comes back out here to number 11, gets in the way of the ball, but immediately you see him looking to take that pass to get on. That is a plus point. That is a massive plus point for him. He will turn defense into attack really quickly, and that's something I love about him. It's something that Ezri Konsa doesn't do, and it's something that this guy does really, really well. I know I'm focusing on his defensive side of things, but I wanted to show you why I'm talking about his defensive duels in one-on-ones. So here he's faced up with a man, literally a simple pass past him. He was flat-footed here in this instance. And once again, I know, what does the player do? Kicks it past him. It's not exactly his fault, but flat-footed, doesn't really back himself to do anything, gives away a free. Here, this is against Mallorca. This one here against Espanyol. He's here, he's tracking his man all the way across the field, and once he gets to that side of the field, the man was past him. There was some good coverage there from the centre half, but I just don't think he's got any extra. He's got no second gear, if that makes sense. Here we have him ushering a man down the side. Well, actually, this one. Let's go back to this one here. This piece of footage here. So a lot of people in around the box. Here, as we can see. There's a lot of defensive players back. Where we can see the man is trying to take the shot here, I think that's Oscar Mingueza just right beside him there. Yes, it is, because the ball then squirts back out, gets recycled back out to the left wing. And I just want to see, this what I mean by when players go past him, they really go past him. So here he's in a great position here, perfect, shadows his man perfectly. Ball goes out here, man goes around him. I know he's in the box, he can't really do much. The ball goes out of play, but sometimes inside the box, I know, what are you supposed to do inside the box here? But when his man gets the ball, the goal, let's show that one once again. Just wanted to show you why I have this one. It's just a long ball. We've seen this for Aston Villa before. We've seen this for Aston in this instance here. And my video has stopped for whatever reason. Oh yes, it stopped because we're now going into attacking. I don't want people to think I'm very hard and I'm down on him. I'm not going to say that somebody's bad at one-on-one duels without backing it up in some instances. Yes, I know some of them were in the penalty area, some of them were not in the penalty area, and I think that when people go past them, they blow past them pretty quickly. That's all I'm saying. Here he is in a really good light. His attacking play here. We have him wide right here on the bottom of the screen. We'll see he's going to receive the ball here. There he is. He's going to receive the ball, and look at this lovely pass in around the back. Beautiful pass. Could you imagine Leon Bailey, John Duran, Ollie Watkins running onto that? That's what Aston Villa's bread and butter is. Here we see he picks this ball up. He takes it in through your man's legs, gets that ball across the area, and they score a really good goal. He's got a high, really good technical ability, really good with the ball at his feet. Here we're going to see again another cross. This is kind of a cross from where he comes in. He's on the right-hand side. Lovely cross in there. Big striker. That's Strand Larson, who's at Wolves now. Puts that one against the crossbar. That was a game from last year that I watched against Atletico Bilbao. Here we have him. That's a lovely pass there from Celta for Strand Larson again. This is against Sevilla, and that was a super pass. And that's the lad. Look, I could highlight great passes all day long. The reason I wanted to show these ones are he's got passing from deep. This is a lovely pass from deep here, as we saw there a moment ago. So he picks this ball up here, nice and composed with the ball at his feet. Gets up his head up and plays a beauty of a ball in. That's an absolute beautiful ball. It splits the defense. When we go back to this one, this is just a regular cross. I think it's a lovely cross into the box. This one is the free kick, as I mentioned. And then this one here shows that he can actually take a man on. When he gets into the box, he's aware, he's confident enough, he's good enough with the ball at his feet that he can do that little megs and slide that ball across. So I don't want you to think that it's all doom and gloom with this guy. It absolutely is not. If we were to sign this guy, I would be pretty happy. I think on the balance of everything that's there, and I mentioned previously, he gives you the defensive output of an Ezri Konsa as a right back, but he also gives you that attacking impetus that is way far and above what we get from Konsa or from Cash currently at the moment. So I think if this one does come true, I think we'll see quite a good player. come in through the doors. Like, he's not a blue chip player by any means, but he would be somebody who could definitely come in here and could help us in the Premier League, could help us in the Champions League. As I said, the only issue I have with him is his one-on-one duels. I focused on it so much here because I saw it 18 months ago. I'm still seeing it now, and it's something that he would have to brush up on from a defensive point of view. But you're going to get some brilliant attacking play from him as well. And we'll see where this one goes. It may be something that happens. It may not be something that happens. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't see any comments there, but Diavola, yes, this one is live. Renewed says, I like a versatile player, but at this point in the project, we need players to improve our 11. I think this guy improves our 11. I do. I think this guy improves our 11 if he's brought in there. Because we've gotten nothing down the right-hand side. We've nothing from an attacking point of view down that right-hand side. So we've gotten nothing there. Bloom says that this guy doesn't excite me, and would he be a big enough improvement to make a difference? As I've shown you there, he gives you the same defensive output as Ezri Konsa, but from the point of view of attacking, he's far better at attacking than Ezri Konsa is. So if Unai Emery does want to continue to play Ezri Konsa at right back, well, this might be a very good alternative to doing that. So Lee Evans says, how about we look for the defenders with attacking noise rather than the other way around? Pound shop Trents we don't need. Is this guy not a defender with an attacking noise? I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But I think I know what you mean. Kevin Newey says, not great in either position for me. We need a commanding centre half and a quick attacking fullback. This guy in the centre half, he's not coming here to play centre half. I can't see how he's coming here to play centre half. So if anybody tells you he's coming here to play centre half, he can play centre half. He's not coming here to play centre half. If he is, I've got questions over that myself. So that's the way I would preface that one for you guys. Where else are we? Yeah, Diavola says Rafinha is one of the best wingers in the world. Well, so is so are a lot of wingers in the Premier League. A lot of wingers in the Premier League, like Mo Salah is one of the best wingers in the world. You know, so he's going to be playing against the best wingers in the world, and I think that's important to highlight the one-on-one duels piece. And Giggs Sharma says, would rather go for Walker Peters. Walker Peters is absolutely somebody that Aston Villa should be in for. We have not seen a link, nor sniff, nor anything. The Walker Peters stuff, and I know because I've spoken to Dan Bardell, has come from Dan Bardell. I don't think we don't know if we're in for Walker Peters yet. If we are in for him, absolutely brilliant. My big thing on Walker Peters is, I think he would be foolish not to let his contract run down at Southampton and see what happens on the continent. Because I think he's a lot more sought after than just Aston Villa should buy him on the 6th of January. I think his agent knows that. I think he wouldn't be adverse to moving outside of England. I don't think he's got much. Well, I'm not going to talk about his international aspirations, but I don't think they would be hindered if he moves outside of England. And I think that has a factor from. I have nothing to go on with regards to this, but the fact that his contract, I think, is up in June or July. Until we have a link, I have no reason not to believe that he doesn't want to go play maybe in a different country, or maybe he's looking to go back to Spurs. Maybe he thinks Man United are going to make a bid for him. Maybe something like that. I don't know, but we've not been linked to him, and I'm surprised we've not been linked to him, because I would love him, but I just wonder, is he holding out for maybe to move to another country or see what's there? Because look, once again, he goes in a free transfer. He earns money that stabilizes his whole family for the next 3 generations, because it's all his money. So I wonder, is he looking to go on a free transfer? I don't know. Could be talking nonsense with regards to that as well. But I think if we do get linked to him, I would be one of the first people cheering him on for sure. I would love him at Aston Villa. We just haven't been linked to him yet. Richard says we need players to play straight away in the Premier League and the Champions League. I've no reason to believe this fella can't play in the Premier League or in the Champions League. I've no reason to believe that he can't. Just because I've harped on an area of his development, I wanted to prove why I think he needs to develop in that area. The guy has lots and lots of strengths, huge strengths, from the point of view of giving you, as I say, if he gives, like, if we say that he can't defend to the level, to the requisite level, and I'm only highlighting his one-on-one duels. It didn't bring in his tackling there. His tackling is really good. His aerial ability is, he's very solid in the air for a right back. But if he's going to give you the defensive output of an Ezri Konsa, are we saying that Ezri Konsa can't play in the Premier League? Are we saying that Ezri Konsa can't play in the Champions League at right back? Is he the best right back in the league? No, I don't think Konsa is the best right back in the league. But if we can get commensurate performance from this guy as Ezri Konsa is doing, and he's a really solid, he's a good right back defensively, just going forward, he doesn't offer you anything. This guy does. So that's my point. That's my view on it, is that if we can get the same level of defending as Ezri Konsa from him as a right back, which the numbers dictate that we can, and those numbers dictate that we can over maybe a 2.5 to 3 year period. So this isn't just Johnny come lately stuff. And we can continue to get the progressive performances from him going forward. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be plug and play in the Premier League and Champions League. He's seen it. Like, he's played against some of the best players in the world. I did highlight him against Rafinha. I do feel bad about that. The only one that I would say about Becker, like, that one just kind of annoyed me. But then again, he was playing on the left-hand side, not the right-hand side. So there's mitigating factors from that one as well. I think the reason I put the Charlotte Becker piece in was that he was playing on his wrong side, and he can play a left back. I just kind of want to shoot down that he's going to be this massively versatile centre half, left back, right back player. I think he's just going to be a right back if he comes to the club. And that versatility, while he does have it, we're not going to rely on that versatility. You know, he's not someone you could see pop up anywhere. In my view, I don't know. Would any other club in the top 6 last year come in for him? Liverpool were heavily linked with him last year. Let me just see. Liverpool were linked with him last year. Liverpool were linked with him in the summer as well. So whether that is true, take of that what you will. Roma are in for him, apparently, as well. So, yeah. So that is it. And Patrick Scallon makes a great point here. Ezri is up there with Virgil van Dijk for one-to-ones. So one-to-one defense with our high line is very important. That's exactly why I highlighted it, Patrick. You're dead right. You're 100% right. That's the only reason I highlighted this, is one-to-one defense with our high line is very important. And it's something I need to see more from him if he comes into this league, if he comes in and plays in this team. You're dead right. I forgot to mention that, but his overall defensive output is commensurate with Ezri Konsa. You know, from a blocks, interceptions, tacklers, dribblers tackled point of view. You know, I'm just highlighting some areas within the one-to-ones that I saw that gave me pause for concern. For sure. How about getting Kyle Walker back from City? He's old but knows his stuff. I don't know. I'm literally just going to say I don't know. Is like, where's the longevity in that? You're going to be talking decent money. You know, decent money for stuff. I don't know. You can't say no to Kyle Walker, but again, it's Football Manager stuff. I don't think Kyle Walker comes to Aston Villa. I think Kyle Walker is Man City and then maybe Bayern Munich, maybe someone like that. Wasn't he heavily linked with Bayern Munich? Once again, I think Kyle Walker will be looking for a big payday somewhere. Don't think he's going to come to a growing outfit like Aston Villa, just with his age. But yeah, why not? Why not sign him? Sign them all. That's what I say. But like, Kyle Walker would be great. He play in the back three, playing the right inside. He would be a 24-year-old Kyle Walker would be the absolute chef's kiss of what we need. But unfortunately, my Kyle Walker tree hasn't fully matured, and I can't pluck him off the branches at the moment. because if I could, I'd be getting him on the first flight over to Villa Park to play at right back, and I'd be a very wealthy man if I did have a Kyle Walker tree. But unfortunately, they don't grow on trees. He's a very, very good defender, and we would love to have him back. And we did have him, and we let him walk out the bloody door. So yeah, Aston Villa of old. Right, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Thanks so much for your time. Any more links, I'm going to jump on. We'll talk about him. I didn't jump on last night, as I said, because I wanted to watch more of this guy. I'm going to leave it, unless I'm very sure of somebody. I'm not going to jump on directly as they're linked, as I used to do in past years. The reason being is because, you know, you're going on half-cooked information. I want to go on full information that I have for them, or full opinion. So I hope you guys will understand that. I know a lot of people message me when someone's linked going, when's the video out? I'm going to take some time to watch some games, or watch some properly, do some analysis of them first before I come on. Unless I happen to have been looking at somebody and have done some stuff in them previously. Love you all. Absolutely love you guys. Thank you so much for popping on a Monday morning. And yeah, listen, look, it's going to be exciting January. We're going to be linked to players that are going to be good. We're going to be linked to players that mightn't be so good. We're going to be linked to players that we can't understand how they're going to fit into our system. But look, it's all about the crack and the bit of fun of having a look at these players. Obviously, take nothing at gospel. We'll discuss everybody in their own little silo. But yeah, look, I think there will be business done this January, and it looks like the club do want to do that. So stick with us for anything transfer related. And as you know, these are my favorite things to do. So thanks very much for joining us. Stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.